guys, welcome back to Murasaki Gaming Channel. I'm Adrian and today we are going to do a deck profile on Gargantua, Bladecentaur, gboostcraft. So first of all, we'll be playing using Dragon flag and our buddy is Gargantua Bladecentaur. So for the main deck, we'll be playing 4 copies of Gargantua Bladecentaur because it is our buddy. So what does Bladecentaur actually do? It's a size 2 monster with a 3k defense, 2 critical and 10k attack power. So it's a drag god, so you can use it in any type of flag. And its call cost is pay 2 gauge, put the top card of deck into the soul, gboostcraft. At the start of your attack phase, for this turn, all cards on your field gets double attack. If another deity dragon tribe is on your field, for this turn, all cards on your field get triple attack instead. And you have move and soul guard. So basically, if you have another monster that has deity dragon tribe, you can have triple attack. Or if you have an item that's deity dragon tribe, also you'll get triple attack. Next up, we will be playing 4 copies of Deity Dragon Strategies Height. It's a size 1 monster, 1k defense, 6k attack, 1 critical. So what it does is just that when it enters the field, you may drop a hand card. If you do, put the top card of your deck into the gauge. And then you can put 1 card with gboostcraft from a deck into a hand. And then shuffle your deck. So basically it's a searcher for your buddy. So just have a gboostcraft and then you can perform a body call. And when this card is standby card effect, if you have a card with gboost on your field, destroy a card on your opponent's field. So basically, if you have him on the field and you have your buddy on the field, so basically during attack phase, this Gargantua will give him triple attack. So after attack, and it will withstand by double attack, so it will withstand and it will destroy opponent's card. Next up, we play 3 copies of Gargantua. So Gargantua is a size 1 monster, 1k defense, 1 critical and 5k attack power. So what it does is that when it enters the field, if you have another deity dragon tribe on your field, you may put the top card into your gauge and draw a card. So you give you extra resources and it's free. So definitely a staple for all deity dragon tribe decks. And the best part of this card is that you can keep on spamming it since it is not once per turn. And then we will play 2 copies of Evolution Storm Reshoot Dragon. So it's a size 3 monster. You have 5k defense, critical of 3 and a 10k power. So its card cost is pay 2 gauge and put the top card of your deck into its soul. If a dragon is on your field, this card gets size reduced by 2, so it will become a size 1 if you have a dragon on your field. When this card is standby card effect, draw a card and deal 1 damage to opponent. So basically, whenever it gets withstand, you will draw a card and you will deal 1 damage to opponent. So it's pretty sweet ability. You can add your hand and then damage your opponent at the same time. If a card with gboost is on your field, your opponent cannot counter during the battle of this card is attacking alone. So basically, if you have another drag god here and then attack, the opponent cannot cast anything to defend himself. So it's almost a guaranteed hit if they don't rest this guy. And you have Penetrate and Soul Guard. Next up, we play 2 copies of Gargantua. It's a size 1, 1k defense, 1 critical and 5k attack power. So when this card enters the field, you may drop a hand card. If you do, put up to 1 Gargantua or Deity Dragon Tribe item from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. So why do we play this? It's to basically search out our item so that we can equip it. And that's not the main point of this card. The main point of this card is the second skill. When a dragon on your field attacks alone, it attacks all your opponent and their monster instead. So if you have Gargantua at here, and then you have your Gargantua Bladecentaur at here, during your attack phase, everyone will get triple attack, and then when your Bladecentaur attacks alone, this guy's ability allows it to attack all of opponent's monster and opponent themselves. So basically able to hit all their units and the opponent. Every single attack, so you can attack them for 3 times, and that would be 6 critical in total already. So that's the basic combo of these two. Next up, you play 2 copies of Fire Gargantua. It's a size 1 monster again. You have 1k defense, 1 critical, 5k attack power. So what it does is, at the end of a battle that this card attack, if you have a card with G boost on your field, you may put this card from field into drop zone. If you do, call up to 1 deity dragon trap monster from hand by paying its call cost. So basically you can call any deity dragon trap monster to the field, so it can attack more. And when this card is standby card effect, gain 2 life. So basically you can gain a lot of life using this card, and able to gain more attack using this card too. Because Bladecentaur skill, the triple attack, just lasts for this whole turn. So whatever monster you call during your attack phase, and you have Bladecentaur on your field, they all will get triple attack. Next up, we play 1 copy of Awakened Deity Dragon, goes to Gargantua. It's a size 1 monster, 1k defense, 1 critical, 4k attack power. The call cost is pay 1 gauge, put the top card into its soul. When this card attacks, you may draw a hand card. If you do, draw a card. Then if you have a dragon on your field, draw a card. So basically, if it's on here, and then you have Bladecentaur at here. So after you attack, you can draw a card, and you can draw 2. So you can draw away all this unwanted card, and then you can draw more. And since it will get triple attack, you can actually keep on doing this for 3 times, and you'll be dropping 3 cards and drawing 6 cards. So it will help you filter your hand pretty quickly, and you have move and soul guard, so you can move to the middle and protect yourself if needed. Next up, you play 4 copies of G Boost Over. It's a spell. So what it does is that you can look at top 3 cards of your deck, put up to 2 among them into your hand, and put the rest to your gauge. You only can cast this card once per turn. So basically you can look at top 3, and you can take up to 2. You can take 1 if you want more gauge, or you can also just charge 3 gauge if you just need a gauge to call something or cast something. It's a very versatile card, just that you need your buddy in order to use this card, because you need a G boost card on the field. Next up, play 4 copies of Combat Deity Roar. So what it does is that you may only cast this card during an attack on an opponent's turn, and if a Deity Dragon Tribe is on your field. So if you don't have Deity Dragon Tribe on your field, you can't cast this card. But what it does is that it's counter, nullify the attack, and then if you have a G boost on your field, the attacking card cannot stand. So if opponent attack you while you have your Bladecentaur on your field, and you cast this card to nullify the attack, that card can no longer stand during this turn. Next up, we play 3 copies of Guard Invitation. It's also another spell, and you may only cast this card if you use gboostcraft during this turn. So basically, you must go to the attack phase so so that you already use the gboostcraft of your buddy, and then you can cast this card since it's a counter, and then you can draw a card, and then when a deity dragon tribe on your field is stand by card effect, you can deal 1 damage to your opponent. And you only can cast this once per turn, so whenever your monster withstand due to card effect, it will deal 1 damage. And since your buddy give everyone that is deity dragon tribe triple attack, every time they withstand, we deal 1 damage. Next up, we play 3 copies of Gar Oracle. This is another spell, so you may only cast this card if you have deity dragon tribe on the field. Cast cost is pay 1 gauge, and what it does is draw 2 cards, and if you have a dragon on your field, you gain 2 life. So if you have your dragon on your field, you draw 2 and then you gain 2 life. So you can get resources and get back your life. So it's a very cheap cost for very good advantage. So definitely recommend to play this. Next up, we play 2 copies of Gar E3. You may only cast this card if you have a G-Boost on your field. For this turn, all your deity dragon tribe on your field cannot be rested or returned to your hand by opponent's card effect. And when a deity dragon tribe on your field is stand by card effect, you gain 1 life, and you can only cast this card once per turn. So basically, when you cast this card, opponent can no longer rest a card, and whenever you stand, you gain 1 life. So it's prevent opponent from disrupting your formation, and also you can gain a lot of life from this card. Next up, we play 3 copies of Gar E Common. So it's also another spell. You may only cast this card if you have attacked 3 or more times during this turn. Then you can put top 2 cards from a deck into a gauge. Then if you have G-Boost card on your field, call up to 1 size 1 or less deity dragon tribe from a deck by paying its call cost and shuffle. If you do, draw a card, and you can only cast this card once per turn. So basically, you can call out any size 1 you need. Basically, you can call out Garcat if you need to draw more, and you need gauge. And you can call out Gadra if you want to hit the whole field using your Bladecentaur. You can call Gadra if you need more life, and you can call out Gadra if you need more hand. Next up, we play 2 copies of Gar Common. So what it does is that you put the top card into a gauge, and then you can call 1 size 1 or less deity dragon tribe from a drop zone by paying its call cost. So what it does is similar to the Gar E Common, just that this is calling from drop zone, and you don't get to charge 2 gauge, you only get to charge 1, and you don't get to draw a card after you call a monster. But this one, it's free, you don't have any condition to meet. So it's also another very good card. Next up, we play 2 copies of Dragot Shine. So what it does is pay 1 life, choose and use one of the following 2. You may only cast Dragot Shine once per turn. So the first skill is that you can put 1 deity dragon tribe item from a deck into your hand and shuffle a deck. So basically it's an item searcher, and then you can, if you don't want to activate the first one, you can activate the second ability, which is put 2 deity dragon tribe monster with different card names from a drop zone into your hand. So if you want to fetch back your Garga, your size 1 monster, and so on, you can cast this card and pick them up so that you can continue your combo. So this is another staple card for deity dragon tribe. Next up, we play 2 copies of Body Block. So you can pay 1 gauge and choose to use one of the following 2. For this turn, the next damage you take is reduced by 3, so it can act as a defensive card. The second ability is that if your opponent cards attack 4 times or more during this turn, for this turn, you will not take damage from attacks. So this is very good against current meta, as current meta have a lot of multi-attacking decks. So this will definitely help in protecting yourself from being attacked. And so I definitely recommend you guys to play 1 or 2 copies of Body Block in your deck. Next up, we play 1 copy of Recover Will. So basically, if your hand cards will be dropped by opponent's card effect, you may reveal this hand and pay 1 life. If you do, your hand card won't be dropped. So if you are fighting decks that drop your hand, you can just show them this card and pay 1 life. They will not need to drop the card anymore. But you can also activate the second skill. Basically, you can put top 2 card into your gauge. So this is a very good gauge charger, so that you can maintain your gauge. And then second skill is that for this turn, the next damage you take by attacks is reduced to 0. Basically, you can also use this as your defense. This card can only get from shop tournament, and it's no longer available because it's a monthly promo. Next up, we play 1 Loud Voice. So you can drop 1 or more hand cards. For this turn, all cards on your opponent field get minus 3k power and defense, and minus 1 critical for each hand card dropped for its cast cost. So if you drop 3 cards, opponent will minus 9k power and 9k defense and 3 critical. So this could help you to survive decks with a lot of critical, like Bank Dreams and Gargantua Knight, the one that uses G-Boost base, and maybe Legend Dragon in the future. Next up, we play 1 copy of Gar-E-Ung. So basically, you may pay 1 life, and you will choose 1 Deity Dragon Trap monster or impact from drop zone and put it into your hand. So if you have your impact being discarded, or you want to fetch back a monster, you can cast this card to take them back. It works something like Dragon Shine. And then if the chosen card is a Dragon, you can charge 2 gauge, so you will get back resources also. So it's also quite good. So you can run 1 to 2 depending on your play style. Next up, I play 3 copies of Deity Dragon Beam Sword, Gorilla-like Rapier. So it's an item, 2 critical and 6k attack power. So basically, the equip cost is pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. If a Dragon is on the field, this card and all Deity Dragon Trap monster on the field cannot be destroyed, and their ability cannot be nullified by opponent's effect. So ability nullification doesn't work on your field anymore unless the Gargantua is being destroyed, or unless your cards are being put to drop zone. Other than that, your field is basically immune to everything. And then for a second skill, counter, activate ability. During your turn, if a card with gboostcraft is on your field, you may stand all Deity Dragon Trap monster on your field, and you can only use this ability once per turn. So what this does is that it will trigger those skills that will deal 1 damage when you are restand, or you gain 1 life. So this is basically to let you gain more life or deal more damage to the opponent. So we play 3 copies of it to improve the consistency. Next up, we play 2 copies of the impact Deity Gargantua Crusher. So what it does is that you may only cast this card if your opponent's life is 5 or less and no monsters are on each player's center, and you must use G-Boost during this turn. His cast cost is pretty cheap for impact, just 1 gauge, and it will deal 5 damage to your opponent. And this card cannot be nullified and its damage cannot be reduced. So it's basically a guarantee hit for 5. And they can't nullify the damage, but they can use card to revive so that they won't lose during that turn. The reason I play 2 is that I think that this deck doesn't need too much impact, but sometimes when you need it, you only need 2 copies because you can't really do anything during early game. So I feel like 2 copies is like the best amount for the deck. So that's all I have for today's gboostcraft Gargantua Bladecentaur's deck profile. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And you can share this video to your friends or family. And don't forget to click on the notification bell below so that you'll be updated whenever I upload a video like this one. That's all I have for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.